Whew, you can do this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Baseball at the Battery. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and turn that notification button on so you can get all things Atlanta Braves and all things Major League Baseball when you want them and when you need them. No hat today. I got the fresh cut. Also had an interview earlier. I think it went well, so this is how I'm coping with it. Anyway, so if you watched the game last night or a fan of the Braves at all, you have heard that Mike Soroka has torn his Achilles tendon in his right foot and will be out for the rest of the season and most likely the start of next season, and that leaves the Braves with even more rotation questions. Now, I was going to put out a totally different video about all of our different rotation options and possibly going towards the end of the season when Hamels is back, but this needs to be addressed right now, so I'm going to come out and give you my options to fill Mike Soroka's rotation spot and the couple other rotation spots that might be up for grabs before and after Cole Hamels comes back. So here is what our rotation was looking like going into summer camp, possibly going into the season. At the top, we've got Mike Soroka, then Max Fried, Cole Hamels, Mike Foltynewicz, and then King Felix or Sean Newcomb. Clearly, that is not what it looks like now. The Braves have been pummeled with injuries, and here's how our rotation looks like as of today. We have a big old blank, and then we've got Max Fried, Kyle Wright, Touki Toussaint, and Sean Newcomb. That is not a World Series rotation. Here are the internal options that we have. On the active roster, on the 25-man roster, the roster that suits up to goes to the dugout every single day, we have about two options in order to fill one of those rotation spots. That would be Josh Tomlin and Tyler Matzek. Now, I understand this is the most boring options out there, but honestly, it's probably the most realistic. So Josh Tomlin is a righty. Mike Soroka is a righty. So that would kind of make sense from that standpoint to replace him in the rotation. Josh Tomlin has started a game more recently than Tyler Matzek. We cannot forget, Tyler Matzek has not started a game since 2015. While there are rumors about that, and Mark Bowman has reported it, I do think that it's going to take them some time to kind of ramp him up to be in a starting role. So maybe this next start, Josh Tomlin will take the start, and then possibly from there on, Tyler Matzek could take it. But that's who I see as being the most predictable outcome of who gets that fifth starting spot right now. However, we have some more internal options that are more sexy, are more interesting. On the 40-man roster, we have Tucker Davidson, Bryce Wilson, Yasiel De La Cruz, and Huascar Ynoa. Now, some of those we've seen before, some we haven't. Tucker Davidson is probably the most popular amongst the fans because we haven't seen him. He has the highest upside, it looks like. But I don't think we're going to be seeing him. He still only had 4 games in AAA Gwinnett. He did have a sub-3 ERA. They don't want to rush him. They don't want to start his service time. Now, Bryce Wilson is a right-hander. He is another interesting choice. However, I think Bryce Wilson fits more of a bullpen role, much like Sean Newcomb would. I'm not sure how much they trust Bryce Wilson to start a game right now. The last couple times it did not go well. I think Bryce Wilson will transition into a bullpen role if he's still on the Braves in the next couple of years. Yasiel De La Cruz is kind of interesting, but however, he has not even been to AAA yet. Not like that stopped the Mets. There hasn't been any buzz about him, so I don't think he's going to be moving into that active roster. And then lastly, we have Huascar Ynoa, who has been in 2 games as a Brave and gave up 6 runs in just 3 innings. He was just activated to the 25-man roster. However, I think he'll be coming out of the bullpen. Once we actually get a sufficient option in there, I think they'll send him right back to Gwinnett. And then we have the sexiest option everyone is talking about. Beyonce? No, not Beyonce. I'm talking about Ian Anderson, who is now the organization's number 3 prospect, just right behind Christian Pache and Drew Waters. However, Ian Anderson is not ready. He's been at AAA and did not fare well. He has like a 6.5 ERA at AAA in like 4 games, so I don't think he's the option we need to be looking for. However, he will be competing for a rotation spot next year. I guarantee it. The next option is Kyle Muller. I don't think they're going to be putting a third left-hander in the rotation to replace our best right-hander. Lastly, we have Mike Foltynewicz. Now, if you haven't already, please go and check out my Rise and Fall of Mike Foltynewicz video. Very informative. Mike Foltynewicz has a lot going on with his velocity, mentally. He just needs to regain that confidence again. He's not going anywhere until he raises his velocity up from 89. That doesn't happen overnight. I don't think we'll honestly be seeing him the rest of the season. Now, when Cole Hamels comes back, I do not think we will see Kyle Wright exit the rotation. I think Sean Newcomb has a better chance of exiting the rotation. I think Touki has an even better chance of exiting the rotation. I think the organization thinks highly of Kyle Wright. That's why they drafted him so high. That's why he started in a game basically a year after he was drafted out of Vanderbilt. I think they'll just take Sean Newcomb's more veteran presence over Touki and send Touki down, but a lot could change. Cole Hamels isn't supposed to be back until probably late September, and obviously there is the trade route. But this is a very interesting year for a trade, and the Braves don't have any leverage here. Teams won't feel sorry for us no matter how much you look on Reddit and see Mets fans saying they feel sorry for us. Teams do not feel sorry for you. And I think any trade that really is going to help us is going to be worth too much of a prospect pool that we don't want to give up at this time, especially in this freaky season. Also, you've got the difference of someone coming over from another team, a different group of people in this COVID environment. So I really don't think we're going to have much luck in the trade market. My final prediction on what the rotation will look like in probably a week. I'm going to say Max Fried, Sean Newcomb will still be there. Kyle Wright will still be there. Tukey will get one more start, but the person to replace Mike Soroka in the short time will be Josh Tomlin. This is not sexy at all. This is not Beyonce. I'm sorry. However, this will be a very fluid situation. I don't think Josh Tomlin will stay in that role. I think Tyler Matzek could possibly get a start, and we could see one of those guys off the 40-man roster. So what do you think of my rotation guesses? Do you think it's too sexy? Do you think it's not sexy enough? Honestly, we all hope the Braves can figure it out at this point. We've got such a talented roster, a talented bullpen. So all hopes that it all goes well, and maybe AA can pull off a trade, but I think we're going to be going with some internal options in the meantime. If you like this video, please, again, make sure you give me a like, turn that notification button on so you can get all things Atlanta Braves and all things MLB as soon as you want it from Baseball at the Battery. And lastly, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.